Hello, Dr. Reed. This is Rowdy Spears, and I will be going over identifying the structures of the sheep heart dissection. I'm going to show you my work area, show there's nothing else but the sheet of paper that I'll be using to identify, and my sheep heart in the tray. All right, so first we're going to start with the pericardium. Generally, it's a sac that goes around the heart. I'm not 100% sure if they consider part of this fat to be that, but usually it's a sac that goes. So I don't believe it's actually here. The epicardium is actually going to be the exterior flesh of the heart. Down here, this pointier end is going to be the apex. The top end is going to be the base. Um, Bringing it up here, you'll see on this side here, this flap here is the left auricle, which is, I believe, Latin for ear. And this flap here, which I already have somewhat sliced, is the right auricle. So we have the left and the right. And when we're looking down here, we have the left ventricle and the right ventricle. And the pulmonary trunk is going to be right here. And let's go ahead and split the sides apart. So, looking at the right side, make sure, I'm holding it and I'm pointing and shooting. We have the myocardium, which is this flesh here. And we have the endocardium. We have the right atrium, which is this opening here. And we have the opening of the inferior and superior. The way I did it was I had to actually slide I think this is the same hole, yep. The inferior vena cava, which actually comes through here. It's just the way I sliced it. Sorry if it makes sense. And it actually comes to superior vena cava. My sheet was not too, sorry, I'm trying to do this with one hand. I had it open before going through, but it goes through there. Then we have the tricuspid valves, which is going to be connected to these heartstrings here. There was a little flap here. It may be this here. But usually they're generally hooked to these heartstrings. And then the pulmonary semilunar valve is going to be very hard for me to get to, but it's going to be up here. I can show you a better version on the other side, but it's in there, and I really don't have the ability to split it open without causing damage. But I will definitely show the aortic semilunar valve. It's a lot better. On the left side, we have the bicuspid valve, again, attached to these heartstrings. There's a, where's it at? I had it, and I think I might have broken it off, but it's going to be, then we have the left ventricle, which is going to be this lower half here. Kind of this gap, I don't know if I can see that. The aortic valve, semilunar valve, which is going to be, let's see if I can get a good look. This valve here that catches anything that tries to go back. And the aorta, which literally goes straight up in here and up through here. And that is it. Hello again, Dr. Reed. This is Rowdy Spears, and I will now be going over the lymphatic system. And let's you see my work area. Got nothing around other than my safety equipment, gloves. We'll be quickly going over this part here. So the lymphatic system is broken into two major ducts, which is um, the if I split the head here and I come all the way to where the diaphragm is, everything in this section here is the right lymphatic duct. Everything else from the head all the way to the diaphragm and all of the lower half is all part of the thoracic duct. The abdominal region, we're going to discuss the cisterna chyli, which is going to be where the lower trunk drains to. It's going to be right above the abdominal here, this region here, in the back. The right lymphatic ducts, they will all drain to the left internal jugular, which we talked about earlier, should be in this region. And I know earlier I think I said the external jugular was over here, but I honestly think I did not cut it, and I think it's right here. And then also for the auxiliary areas over here, they all will all drain into the subclavian vein, which should be here. And then we talk about the lymph node regions. We have the cervical region, which is here in the neck area. It's where all of the fluids drain back to. Should be in this neck region. We have the auxiliary. Usually that's all from the head. We have the auxiliary, which comes from the arms. It should be in this region in the armpit area. And then we have the inguinal region, which should be kind of that groin area, pelvic groin area. Is where all of the fluid drains back to when it circulates. We have our thymus, which should be in this region here, right above the heart, and the kind of right where the lungs come together at. And then we have our spleen, which I believe is this large stretch area here. And that's it. Hello, Dr. Reed. This is Rowdy Spears. I'll be doing the respiratory system dissection portion, identification. As you see, this is my area. So let's get into this. I'll be, again, one single-hand unit, so apologize for the cinematography, but let's get started real quick. So we have our larynx, which is also the voice box. It's going to be this larger cylinder area there. And it moves into a thinner trachea. Okay. And then we have our 6 lobes on the pig. This is the top one here. This is our middle one here. And our lower one on the right. And then we move over here. That's not it. That is, here's the top one. Middle, and, oh, I might have had that backwards here. This is the top here. Middle. And our lower. The underneath the heart, which I did not actually disconnect, the pulmonary and the bronchial trunks that are going into each lobe, that connection is called your hilus. I don't know if you can see, kind of pretty much where they move in. The visceral pleura is the outer part of the lung. It also helps lubricate the lung for expansion and And then there's a bronchus blood vessels inside of the lungs. I did not cut them open to see that. And then again, we also have our diaphragm. Hello, Professor Reed. This is Roddy Spears. I'm going to do my circulatory system dissection piece. I'll just show you my workspace so you know there's nothing else around. I know I do have a couple books over there, but this was kind of difficult, I won't lie. But let me go through my list. So we have the pericardium. It's going to be this skin around the heart, if I can get that there. That is the pericardium there. The diaphragm, I had to cut through some of it. Sorry, I only have one hand as I'm trying to film and get close-ups. Let's see here. So, the diaphragm will be this here. As I had to cut through it. The heart. It's the heart right here. Alright, so this is the bad part here. I was not doing too well on the dissection. So, even if I can't show you it exactly, I'm going to try my best to explain where it would normally be. So, as we look at the larynx and the trachea, I believe that the internal jugular is going to be in this section here. I was cutting a lot and I did not see, I was cutting more than I should. So I would believe the internal would be in this section here where my prong is, and the external will come around this here. And then this is the right jugular, and the left jugular, man, it's not good. I believe is this going up. The supravena cava is this blue area here, I believe. The aorta, well, this is going to be difficult to show. Can I get in there? Oh, I think I got it. The aorta, come on. Once again, I'm sorry for the cinematography. It's going to be this, man, it's coming blurry. It's going to be right underneath. It's going to be right there. It's a soft tissue. Sorry about not being able to get it really to come out. Alright, the branchiocephalic, oops, sorry, is going to be coming right off the top here. I may have cut it a little bit. It should be this main part underneath there. Like I said, I kind of diced up a lot of this when I was cutting it. The right subclavian artery, I believe is this. I honestly do believe it's this, but I'm not 100%, but I'm going to pretend I am. And the carotid, I believe is this thicker piece one here, moving its way up. And that is the first part of the circulatory system.